Welcome to Amateur Redneck Workshop. I'm Harold, and today I'm going to make a stop for my mill. You know, when you put stuff in the vise, say you've got it in one of those square collet chucks and you want to roll it over and cut a hex, or well, you're not with a square, you can't cut a hex, but you know what I mean, cut four sides equal. You need to locate it sideways in the vise in the same spot every time. And if you've got a stop that you can shove it up against, well, you can always locate it in the same spot. Well, that's what I'm going to work on today. I thought that it would probably be useful in other things, and as a sort of an interruption to my quest for metric threads. I just got back from Dallas, and well, actually outside of Dallas, but out in the country there. And we went to see some of the wife's kinfolks, and I was reminded, you know, how important it is to sometimes go and pay a visit to old folks that are shut in and such. We went to visit one of her aunts who, you know, she can't get out hardly, you know, any at all. And she was just tickled to death to see her niece, and we really neglected visiting there. She moved about 3 years ago, and we wasn't sure where she moved to, and we didn't make a lot of trips, and so finally the wife figured out where she was at, and we went to visit, and the little old lady was just tickled to death to have some, you know, company that, you know, wasn't the usual family. And so if you know, if you got old relatives somewhere, you really ought to go and visit them now and again. It won't take much of your time. Go one day in a month, maybe spend a couple hours, 2 or 3. It'd mean a lot, you know. All right, now enough of the sob story stuff. I'm going to make my my stop out of whatever I've got laying around here, and I'm going to sort of wing it as I go. I had plans drawn up for making one that looks, you know, kind of like that. I guess you can see the drawing, I don't know. And then I got to thinking about it, and I thought, well, that's probably overly complicated. I could do pretty much the same thing without all that much trouble. So I changed my mind, and I have another, you know, some round stock laying around that is of, you know, mystery metal, and I'm going to use that. And you know, we'll make the things as we go along, and we'll make it up as we go along. How's that? Let's just go ahead and get on with it. And you know that all projects start on the bandsaw. I'm going to cut the bad end off this piece of mystery metal. I think it was a shaft in some kind of a machine or something. I've got several like that. But this particular piece has been used as a heavy-duty punch or something. It's been beat on the end, pounded like crazy. Got a couple of holes in there, and it's pounded hard enough that the sides of the hole kind of swelled outwards. And the hole is kind of an oval now instead of round. Chances are I was the guy pounding on it, but I don't remember it. Sometimes it's good not to have a good memory. So we'll get this cut off, and then we'll get the thing set up and make a nice little threaded hole in the end of it, and then we'll take it over to the mill and we'll make some flat spots on it. Now imagine you can see those two belts there are not exactly in the best condition. I'm not going to take that headstock apart to, you know, to replace everything when they go. I'll just get me a couple of link belts and put on there. At least that's my plan. I'm pretty sure it'll work out. I just keep hanging on, waiting until finally they break. Yesterday I was out mowing with the little taro out behind the garage, and there were some chunks of wood left over down in the sawdust and such that I didn't necessarily see. And I run through there and knocked the belt off of the you know, the drive there, and it cut it in half or burn it in half or something. Anyway, now I've got to replace the belt on that little taro. There's always something broke around here. At the auction, they auctioned off some face mills, but my little grizzly hasn't done all that good with face mills, so I guess I bid like $5 or $10 on a couple of them. There must have been 10 or 15 of them, all alike. But my heart wasn't in it, so I didn't bid much. See if this double boost pushing bearing will line this thing up. Make it quit wobbling in a circle. It lined it out for a little bit, but that just made it loose in the chuck. Let's try it again. Well, that's, I guess, better than it was. I'll put a hole near the center of it, because at this rate, it's not going to be anywhere but just near the center. I can save that for it. Maybe I can run it over here and kind of steady it up while I drill. That might work. I don't know if that's doing me any good at all. Well, we're going to put a center in it. I think this is stainless steel, to be honest with you. Not sure where it came from or what it was. But now it's mystery metal. That's as close as I can get to that tool holder. So back it up from there. Wouldn't mind that hole being just a tiny bit better. I don't know that I really held that thing steady or not. That's good enough. We'll use a cutting tool to make it more straight and round. Alright, get that off. And where's my, oh, right here, right in front of me. Put this guy on. Too close. All right. You got it feeding in reverse, that's not too good. Alright, I'm going to whittle on this a while. I'll wake you guys up when I get further along. Okay, so I cleaned it up so it's straight going the other direction. And then I've turned it around and clean up this end right here. The reason I'm going all this trouble is this bar was bent, kind of U-shaped, and I wanted to make it sort of straight. And I guess that pretty much describes how it is. It's sort of straight. My 3-jar chuck stuff got a certain amount of run out. And that certain amount of run out is about 3 thousandths, which gives me a total indicator run out of 6 thousandths. So this end is not going to match the other end you know, it's not going to be concentric with it. It's going to be kind of like a cam lobe out here by 3/1000ths. But a 3/1000th left cam, I guess, is okay. I'm going to make a couple of cuts here to kind of true it up, and then I'm going to drill it for a 1/4 20 thread, and then we'll put a 1/4 20 bolt on it to hold the piece that's going to go sideways. You'll see what I'm talking about later. But let me continue to clean it up. I took my 1/4 inch drill bit to do something around here, and I've lost it. I mean, it's just disappeared. You know, I do stuff like that. I could ask the boss lady to find it, but then I have to go through all those remarks, you know, and those looks like poor helpless idiots, you know. I think I'll just leave it lost, and next time I go by the hardware store, I'll buy another one. There's only so much a guy can take, you know. Back it up in there and get a little lubricant on it. I think it's slipping back in the chuck anyway. I'm making a 50% thread. I'm using 7/32 instead of a number 7, I think, so it makes it 75% thread. If a little's good, a whole lot's real good. So I'm going to have a lot of holes. And it'll be real good. Alright, so I'll tap the thing off camera. Now Pierre said to chamfer the hole before you thread it. And I wish I'd remembered that before I threaded it, because I'm sure he's absolutely right. But I got it chamfered anyway. And then I ran the tap back in, so I guess I got away with it. This stuff's definitely stainless, and it's not easy to work with. But I've got a hole there that's a good inch deep, and it's threaded all the way to the bottom. So it came out all right. So next step, the mill. Alright, flatten on this side, then roll it over. I don't know if I'm feeding it too much or not enough, but I'm going to take off about 20/1000ths, I hope. Okay, 20/1000ths made a nice flat, so I'm guessing another 20/1000ths would be enough wider than that to really do the job just right, so I'll drop her down another 20. I think that looks big enough. Let's zoom in and let you have a good look. What do you think? Is that big enough? Wide enough? We'll think on it. I'm going to knock off the day and I'll dream about it tonight and we'll see tomorrow. The garden's coming right on along with all the little okra plants coming up very nicely. A couple of them doing really good down there. Tomato plants are coming right on along, as well as the peppers. Even the strawberries look healthy. One of them died. I think I might have over-fertilized it or something. Oh well. It's good that the okra's growing, because the boss lady says she used up the last of the stuff out of the freezer. Well, that's all, folks. Y'all try to subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Leave a comment if you got something to say. And above all, remember, keep on keeping on. Bye now.